All right, so our last review of the day is going to be for the film Naked Gun 2025. This is a legacy sequel of the Naked Gun franchise here. This is the fourth film in the Naked Gun franchise. And much like we just talked about with I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, it's a legacy sequel, so it has the same name of the first movie, but it's 2025. So that's what they're doing now with these legacy
Mhm.
sequels. If people don't know the Naked Gun franchise, they are spoof movies there. Um, the first series of movies starred what's his name? I'm sorry,
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen there. Leslie Nielsen there starred them, and they were classic. They're great comedies there with that. And then in this, it stars Liam Neeson, who's in the new version of this,
Mm.
and just kind of that seems like a perfect fit. I mean, Liam Neeson, who's had this kind of career renaissance in his later age. There, it started with Taken back in '09, where he's playing this very serious action guy there. And then after that, he started playing all these movies where he was taken, but it wasn't taken. It was taken on a plane. It was taken on a train.
Taken on a plane, taken on a train, taken
Yeah,
on a snowmobile.
yeah, it was all these taken movies
Leslie Nielsen versus wolves.
that. yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
sorry, Liam Neeson. Goddamn.
yeah. I was about to do that at first. I was like, wait, not Liam, Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, but yeah. So he had that kind of part of his career. So now it's like the serious action guy. So it feels like this fits him perfectly to do this spoof type movie here, where he's kind of playing into that and kind of playing that up of having that reputation for this kind of spoof comedy film here of Naked Gun, which very much
And,
is what
and
Leslie Nielsen did.
yeah, and almost to this, very very well done kind of parallel is like Leslie Nielsen prior to Airplane and the Naked Gun movies and Police Squad, which it was based Naked Gun movies were based on. Nielsen was more known as a dramatic actor
Yeah.
before he did any of those.
Mm.
And a charm of the Naked Gun, Airplane is how deadpan he is.
Mm. Yeah, and Liam Neeson does it perfectly here, and he's appeared in some comedies before. He's done
Mhm.
some other things there before, but I don't think I've ever seen him lead a comedy before. So this is very interesting there. Nick, what are your thoughts here on Naked Gun?
Oh, yeah, when I this was announced when I saw the first trailer, I was, like, very surprised how much I was looking forward to this because this is directed by, Akiva Schaffer of, The Lonely Island, and one of our, I think, great working comedy directors. He works on a lot of SNL adjacent stuff. Of course, he's, one of the Lonely Island trio, with Andy Samberg and Jorma Taccone, and he's directed a lot of, I think, fantastic comedies like, Hot Rod and, Chippendale Rescue Rangers and, Pop Star.
Mm, yeah,
But I feel like, with this is a kind of movie that we haven't gotten in a very long time, where it is a straight spoof movie. And with a lot of those, of course, very, very, infamous of the, not early 2000s and the late 2010s with stuff like, you know, epic movie, disaster movie, of course, scary movie. This movie feels like it is a genuine love letter, and it feels so close to the charm of the original Naked Gun movies, where they are very, they are, straight up cop procedural films, just told with almost gags and jokes, told almost a joke a minute, where by the time you're done laughing at one joke, they've already gotten like three more bits in.
mm, yeah. And I actually just recently saw. I'm doing a retro review for Naked Gun
Mhm.
1988 tomorrow. I'd never seen the Naked Gun movie before. So it's interesting enough. I did do that. But yeah, I mean, very much that deadpan type style of comedy there. Everything is taken at face value. You know what I mean? Everything like that. That same thing happens in this. There's a lot of running gags in this Naked Gun movie that they repeat from the older one there that people might recognize. So there is that for fans of the
And,
franchise.
and of course, cliches from new new elements of cop and police procedurals now. Like every scene, he's getting handed a cup of coffee when he's on duty.
Oh yeah, I love that. There's a running gag in that, which I love that. Yeah, every scene they're getting handed bigger cups of coffee or just random like that was. I thought that was really great there. There's some really great bits in this movie there that even if you see the trailer, I think
Mhm,
even they do a good thing. Even the best bits aren't in the trailer. I think even when you
mhm.
still see the movie, there's some great stuff there when you actually go see the movie. So it's not all in the trailer. The funny bits there. Which I think is really great. Like there's a segment of this movie which is my favorite where they do like a vacation him and Pamela Anderson, that was my favorite
Oh
segment.
god, where that vacation goes is it was the hardest I was laughing in a comedy in I think a very long time because I don't think we've gotten a lot of theatrically released comedies in theaters that, weren't marketed towards kids.
Mm, yeah, and speaking about, Pamela Anderson, we haven't talked about her yet. She's the love interest of this movie there,
Mhm.
and speaking about a couple dating in real life, we just talked about that with Together, Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, they came out. They're also,
Aw, good for them.
dating in real life there, so shout out to them. How did you like Pamela Anderson in this movie?
Oh, she was great. I just recently watched her in The Last Showgirl, which I was kind of surprised how great that performance is because I think we and a lot of audiences kind of write off Pamela Anderson because she was the epitome of the blonde bombshell back in the 90s and early 2000s, and in she's a great comedic foil off of Liam Neeson because both of them are playing this completely straight, which I
Mm,
think is needed for comedy to work like this.
mm, yeah. I think she serves really great, in this. I think she does well in a lot of the comedic scenes. She has a great bit where she does, like, a jazz sequence, which I think is a great bit in here, there, so I think that works. I think she plays off Liam Neeson very well in this, and I think they work. She's the femme fatale of, the
Mhm,
movie there. And then let's talk about the cast, good cast. Paul Walter Hauser, another member of the Fantastic Four, First Steps
mhm.
cast is in a movie. Damn, they're just everywhere. They spreading them tentacles large there in that cast.
Yep,
He's partner
Danny
of,
yeah, Danny Houston, who's, the villain in this, Kevin Durand, who has a small role in here, CCH Pounder, who is the police chief.
she's the classic angry black police chief there in this, CCH Pounder there. So she works really well in that role. Yeah, I mean, it's really good cast. Everybody fits it really well, knows the job really well. Also, this movie, it knows when to get in and get out. This is a brisk
Mhm,
hour and 25 minutes. So it's always good to see a comedy that doesn't overstay its welcome. I think that's always appreciated. I was disappointed though towards the end of the movie. I think this is a movie that deserves bloopers. I was like, "Where's the
mhm.
bloopers with this in the credits?" That's a lost art, movies with bloopers. There. I was kinda really hugely disappointed by that.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't something that I was thinking about until you brought it up today.
Yeah. I would have loved to see that, because I imagine it was probably a fun time on this set, doing a lot of the jokes here, I would imagine. I mean, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Any negatives for you with this movie?
Not one. I feel like with great comedy, with a comedy and with a movie like this, there's a difference between dumb and stupid. And dumb is something that you laugh with. Stupid is something you laugh at. And this is one of the dumbest movies I've seen in such a long time. But I was laughing damn near every second of this runtime.
Mm, yeah. I mean, like I said, with it runtime, like every minute, it's like, okay, we're doing this plot, we're getting in, gags are the funny there. If even if a gag is not so good, it's quick enough to go to the next one, which is better there. Like there's
Yeah,
a
and it's all different styles of humor. There is, of course, with the Naked Gun, there is, slapstick, there's, dirty jokes, but there's also a lot of, play on words, classic language misunderstandings that happen.
mm, yeah, there's no everything is very frank. There's
Mhm,
no, what I mean, innuendo. I mean, not innuendo. What word am I looking for? There's no like, when you take things very literal, everything is very
uh-huh,
literal. Yeah, everything's very literal there in that sense, which is it works really well. And the theater I saw with, people were busting out laughing. The one dude just couldn't control him. He was just, like, tickling him. He was so gigglish. He wasn't even really laughing, he was giggling, you know what I mean? Like, just
Hey,
tickling.
when did you come to my theater?
Yeah. Oh, that was you in the theater? Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you had that. Was your theater experience? Yeah, a lot of people just
Oh, my theater experience was fantastic. I saw this last night with a decent sized crowd, and they were busting out laughing through the whole thing. And even the way this movie's paced with its jokes, even if uh, I feel like this would reward rewatches kind of the same way Black Dynamite would,
Mm,
where even if the big laugh doesn't land for you, then there's like almost hundreds of little smaller bits throughout this movie that somebody is gonna find the laugh at.
yeah. Like there was a moment that made me laugh really well with Danny Houston when they're talking about the Black Eyed Peas, like that moment. I was like, that's a good moment there. And Danny Houston playing typical Danny Houston stuff, villain, bad guy there. He's doing that. It makes up for when he did it in The Crow. So that makes up for when he did it in that.
And of course, with Kevin Durant, who is of course the big henchman in here, he has one of the funniest bits in this.
Yeah. So what be your final thoughts and rating here for Naked Gun?
Ooh, damn! It has been such a long time since we've had a cinema comedy where it was this funny, it was this heartfelt, and it was just this great to watch in a theater. The jokes go almost a mile a minute. Almost every frame of this, there is something that you can find a laugh at. This chemistry with Liam Neeson and with Pamela Anderson, that is one of the highlights. I'm really happy for them. And of course, this got a very funny bit in here, which is in the trailer.
The OJ Simpson bit, yeah.
Oh yes, and of course this whole segment with of course because a lot of cop shows now have segments featuring the body cams. This whole bit was hilarious to me. Um, yeah, it was like the biggest ask you can get of a comedy is like get in, make me laugh, and get out quick. And this movie nails that in spades. I gotta give this strong peak for how funny and how great a time I had in the theater with this.
Mm. I gotta agree. I also give it a strong peak there. I mean, hard to think of other comedies that have really come out, this year or just straight comedies there. I do think this is the best one I've seen this year. I had a great time watching it. I think it's even worth maybe another rewatch in theaters there. And probably just all this stuff just in the background or maybe dialogue you didn't catch because
Even this whole segment in the movie,
oh
it takes turns.
oh yeah. And this movie's I think it's what PG-13, isn't it?
I think so.
Which is also pretty amazing. This movie's PG-13. They were able just to also be funny without being R-rated. Yeah, it is PG-13.
Yeah, it was
Um,
like this funny without being R-rated and relying on just gross out humor.
yeah, or cursing or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty good there that it was able to be that
Yeah,
funny
it,
without
it
that
yeah,
element.
that is kind of a lost art. I feel like with the 2000s, like every theatrically released comedy was like very very adult, very R-rated, very raunchy, and this has kind of become a lost art.
Mm, yeah. So I thought, yeah, so the running gags in here, the bits in here are really good. That really works there. Do you think have you seen the original Naked Gun?
I've seen the original Naked Gun, and I've seen Naked Gun. I think it's called a what 2.5.
Mm. Do you think it's like on par with that or you
Yeah,
think
I think it is on par for me with the original Naked Gun, but I also haven't seen the third one, and I haven't seen Police Squad.
mm, okay. Yeah. So yeah, high peak from Nick, high peak from me for the Naked Gun 2025 in theaters now. Highly recommend checking it out. I think you have a good time with it. Have fun with it. Laugh a lot.
Yeah, dude, dude. It's my nephew's birthday tomorrow, and I'm just like begging my dad, hey, you need something to do? Go take Hunter to see Naked Gun.
Mm, yeah, hey, I think it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Awesome stuff there. All right.